It's final tag 2023. You got 2022 or 20, I guess it's 2023. I'm using 2022 stuff, but it's for 2023. I mess it up all the time. But it is final tag. Rob Walker, thank you for setting up a bunch of questions. I seriously considered doing this, but then it also thought, I'm just too damn lazy, so forget that. I'll just wait for someone else, and there may be another 10 or 20 of these coming out, but we're doing this one because it's Rob Walker, and I like Rob Walker. The questions, they're in the, you can click on something here and you'll pull up everything about this video, and all 20 questions are listed below. I'll put a link to Rob Walker's video if I can remember how to do it again. But otherwise, all questions will be there. For those that don't know vinyl tag, if you've never done a video, great way to do a video. Don't let 20 questions be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You don't have to answer them all. Do whatever you want. It's your video. But it's a great way to kind of to start. There's two ways. An introduction video is just a perfect way to begin. If you want to make videos, just introduce yourself and what you like and your taste, maybe a record. Another one is through vinyl tag. Vinyl tag, gets a lot of people watch those. They become very popular, and that's why that is a good way to get some people to watch your videos. So do that. If you have any interest, if you've never made a video, please just reach out to people. Reach out to me if you're watching this. Man, I'd like to do that. All you got to do is comment to me, ask me some questions. I will get with you. Also, after where I put down what all these questions are, I have my contact information there. Please, it's fun. It's just fun to do. If you haven't done a video and you're boring, oh gosh, I don't know if I should or should not. Oh, screw it. Just do it and have fun. That's what it's about. But we have 20 questions. I typed them because we know I can't read my writing. Anybody who's watched me do any of these, I can't read my writing. So let's do these 20 questions. Me and Dr. Evil will do this. Favorite new release of 2022. Favorite new release of 2022. Easy peasy. There was the one and only Wet Leg. I adore this album. I play it. It's in my brain. I don't sleep because of it. It just is freaking catchy. The hooks are insane. It just, and the vocals actually are quite good. Esther, she has a really quiet voice, but otherwise, sounds great. Watch their stuff on YouTube. Fantastic. That is by far the best new release of 2022, bar none. I don't care what everyone else is saying on their best of. This is it. Wet Leg. Okay, last band or solo artist you saw live. Well, I haven't seen any dead, so it had to be live. And actually, last one, I went to Red Rocks to see my son. And we went to Red Rocks and we watched Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. And we saw their concert, and it was the best. It was probably one of the greatest experiences, one of the greatest concerts in such an iconic venue. They played a lot from both their two albums that they collaborated together. It was the best. So I don't go to many concerts. I did see Steely Dan this year, thanks to Tone Scott. Sent me some tickets to that for me and my wife to go. My wife slept through it. I didn't take her to this one. It just would have been another one for her to sleep through, and I had to fly out to Denver. So there we go. That's that one. The first album was their best album. Easy. That's Wet Leg. This is their first album, and it is by far their best album. But we already did that one. So I think first album is their best one. Ricky Alanga. He put out some incredible stuff. You can see some of it is back there. There's like 3 of his albums back there. These is an original release from Zambia. And this is Zamrock at its absolute best, at its absolute rocking and funkiest. There's the back side of it. This is an original, extremely rare. And to me, of his stuff, and I got maybe 4 or 5, this is his best. And I just absolutely, this is kick-ass. You can get reissues, costs a whole lot less, of this album. Okay, number 4, Hat Trick. Show vinyl, CD, cassette. I don't have any cassettes. I have one, but that nothing matches up. CDs, not much, but it does say a hat trick. So I have a hat here, okay? All right. Here we go. This is a hat. We are going to do a trick with it. So 1, 2, 3, and ta-da! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've been practicing that for a very long time. That's my hat trick. Feel free to tune into any of my other videos for more magical mischief and excitement. That's a hat trick. Okay, so now going on to number 5. Folks, vinyl tag, it's about having fun. Okay, number 5, album that starts and ends with the same letter. Starts and ends, this one worried me. I thought, oh my God, am I going to have to think? But no, I looked right over on my shelf. You can see how I have these albums facing out. What did I have? But the Cramps. Songs the Lord Taught Us. An S and an S. This is top 3 album of all time for me. It is one of the greatest albums for me that has ever been made. One of the most important albums. And it really put me on a whole different trajectory on what I listen to. And beautiful original of this. This is so good. Songs the Lord Taught Us. So that had that. But as I was looking there, I had another one. Thanks to Jason, New and Old Sounds in Denmark. He sent me this autographed by Ulf Lorentzen, and it is one of his solo albums, Trippetort. A T and a T, a Trippetort. It's Danish, not a clue what it means. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's there, and it has my name on it. So, Jacob Gum to autograph that for me. I am a huge Ulf Lorentzen fan. Okay, how about Born the Same Year as You? What's up, boy? Flavor Flav. Bam. Born in 1959, just like me. I should have wore a big clock around my neck. This is one of my all-time favorite albums. There's actually the original vinyl I had before the flood. I did, it's one of those vinyl records that I saved from the disaster. But, of course, no cover. So I got a reissue of a cover. This, oh man, my God, it takes a million. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Is one of the greatest albums ever made. It is, again, in one of my top 25 albums of all time. Such a good song. Such a good album. Okay. Most listened to album of 2022. That would be Wet Leg. There it is again. I'm telling you. I was just going to use Wet Leg for the whole thing. But there's actually one that I really... This was my favorite album of last year, and I continued to listen to it this year. This is First Boy on the Moon. And it's their debut album, First Boy on the Moon. You might be able to find it on Bandcamp. This is filled with beautiful hooks. The singing, the vocals are incredible. I was talking to someone, they said, God, it's kind of like Johnny Marr with the way the guitars and everything are going. There's some synth, there's 80s, there's a Cure type feel at times. This is probably one of my favorite albums of all time, and I have not tired of it, and I played it constantly this year. Came out last year, was my album of the year last year, and I've never put it away because I play it that much. Ask Rachel from Rachel's Ghost. Center one that she plays, she'll tell you how great that is. Okay, how about most listened to artists? Most listened to artists this year. Wet Leg. Yep, they're back again, but we can't keep showing them. Actually, my most listened to artist, Miles Davis. I love his. Wait. Okay. I really love his stuff. Oh. Sorry, that was looking kind of cool to me. Okay, I love Miles Davis. He's my favorite artist of all time. I play his stuff. Bitches Brew, I probably played more than anything. I have it loaded into my phone, so as I travel, I play a lot from Bitches Brew. It's such an incredibly cool sounding jazz, funky, fusion, anything that you could want. By far, he is my most played artist because I have so much of his catalog and I love it. It makes me feel good. Okay. Australian band. I have quite a bit, thanks to Ben Rankin's Mike down in Australia. I bought a lot of stuff, especially some garage rock from Australia. But this is one he didn't have, and I just recently bought off Fuzz Club, Los Palms. So it's easy to get, and you can go into Fuzz Club and find it. And it's just fuzzy psych garage rock from Australia. Fun music, great stuff. I mean, I thought it was an excellent album and really liked it. From the Land Down Under. Okay, most surprising purchase of 2022. Okay, I go, God, really, does anything I really buy surprise people because it goes all over the place? Oh, but yes. Oh, yes, there was. If you're going to surprise them, buy a box set of Metal Blade, and that way you can get a whole box set of death metal type albums that are totally out of your wheelhouse. And I mean there's just no way I would have. I had to try it. Vinyl Me Please put out this box set, and I thought, oh, what the hell? Let's just do this. I had a lot of credit that I could use to get it, and so we came up with all these different metal albums. For the metalheads, as you're watching this, you're going, I know that album, I know that album. If you're not a metal person, you're probably going, what the hell's that about? It's still not my wheelhouse, folks, but it was interesting. I did a whole video on this and played samples from those albums as I worked to become a metal person. It didn't work out too well for me, but that was my surprise purchase. Artist or band that you're complete on, that you have everything. Okay, I have everything from Wet Leg. Everything they've ever made, which is one album. But let's go further. I'm not much of a completist anymore. I used to be. I've limited myself to my space and how much room I'm going to have for records. So, but this is one. And I finished this year. I was able to get all originals. Finally, from the Velvet Underground. And here's the first album. This one has the picture that they had the copyright issues with. They were sued for, so that had to go away. So this is first press of that. Not the best shape, but it has that picture. I was able to get the original. There it is, White Heat. The Velvet Underground, again, an original. And finally, the original Velvet Underground Loaded. I had an original from the Flood, saved vinyl. Actually, that is not the original, but this is. I love the Velvet Underground. I have other albums of theirs. They're full stuff. I did not buy the non-Lou Reed when Doug Yule was leading. I never counted that really as Velvet Underground. So 4 originals from the Velvet Underground. I could have used Clutch. I bought their box set, and I bought the new album, so I'm complete with that. A great run of three albums. Great run of 3 albums. Let's do 4. Miles Davis, In a Silent Way. Absolute stunning album, beautiful. Followed up by Bitches Brew. One of the greatest, probably a top 10. It is a top 10 album of all time for me. Then it came, I wasn't going to do it, but I just put it anyway. It's live, but Live Evil, which is an incredibly cool album. And that was followed up by Jack Johnson. He was going to do this for a movie, wound up not happening, but it is still just incredible music from that fusion period of Miles Davis. These are 4 heavyweight albums, well worth anybody's. Well worth picking up if you see them. There we go. We have 80 soundtrack. Before the flood, I had lots of soundtracks. After the flood, I don't really go out and buy them. There's just a few. As the 80s, what? But I did have one. Repo Man. And I remember with my first collection, it took me a long time to find this. I found this one a lot quicker, but I'd want it because it's filled with great punk stuff on here. You got Black Flag, you have Iggy Pop, Suicidal Tendencies, Circle Jerks is on here, Fear. It's just really, really good stuff. Fantastic for those that like your punk. Then we have an artist we lost in 2022. Actually, there's a number of times I lose different things in here. I can't find the freaking records. I'm looking, where the hell did I put that? I have it organized and I lose them. But then I thought, oh no, it's someone that died, so that's fine. Because the other albums up, I lost them. I'm not finding them. Betty Davis. Oh man, that was so, well, she wasn't making music anymore, but no matter what, I mean, she died, so I can't, well, it wasn't a big deal. It was. She is like the queen of funk. She dirty, down and dirty funk. Was married to Miles Davis, got Miles Davis to do Bitches Brew, was a big influence of Bitches Brew. And this is her first album, Betty Davis. You can find it on reissue. It is the best. It is so funky. Her music lives on, and so she hadn't made albums in decades. Any music, she just got out of the business. Okay, next we have Disappointing Purchase of 2022. That was hard. That was another hard one, but there was one, and that was Lou Reed's Words and Music, and it's an early tape he made, that just a cassette tape that him and John Cale did sitting in a room, and it just put me to sleep. I got no enjoyment out of it whatsoever. I did get a good nap, and a lot of times I felt much more refreshed after I listened to this. I just didn't really listen to it. Okay. Non-vinyl purchase. I just showed these on my Sunday show. I buy lots of books, tons of books, but these were 2 that I think a lot of people are interested in. The Acid Archives, looking at the acid music from 60s and 70s, acid psychedelic rock, and the Fuzz, and the Nights of Fuzz. This looks at the garage and psychedelic movement from the 80s into the 90s. Both of these are wonderful reference books. Lots to read and look at. Just fun stuff. You listen to records, you play those, great time. Okay, moving along here. You found a Grail. Well, congratulations to you. You found a Grail. Actually, if you look, okay, we're going to go up just a little bit there. These walls, you could say, are filled with Grails. From the original Misfits there, you got Pixies, Bossa Nova, the Lou Reed, there's Jane's Addiction. This is all Zamrock, Extreme, but this was one that was really big. Iggy Pop and the Stooges Funhouse. This completed me finding all the original from the Three Stooges albums. This was the last original I needed and I had been looking for, and so super excited when I found this. And man, this was big. And a lot of my I found so many good stuff at my local store, Radio Wasteland. Jim's the owner there. I mean, the amount of incredible good stuff he got in this year was just great, or last year. Okay, spaced themed. Remember Ulf Lorenzen? He is in space. You can see all that. But I got a better space themed one. Let's do this one. Space Echo. And this is from Analog Africa. And it is looking at just some different, I think from Benin, different music that's really cosmically out there. The mystery behind the cosmic sounds of Cabo Verde finally revealed. And yeah, look at that. He's shooting little with his guitar and killing things or whatever. Very, very spacey. That was perfect. Show a present or VCLT. Everyone's been very generous since the flood, and since then been extremely generous with me with VCLT, and I'm very, very blessed by that, and I'm most appreciative. And I wish I could just send back stuff. I have a great one coming up next week from Daryl Vickers. Stuff that he showed. Mad for Vinyl, Near Wild Heaven, MGK Boston, ML Blue 435, so many others. But this one really hit me. This one hit me really, really hard. This came from Brian Lorenzo, Shamrock Records. It was the Water Boys, and he had found this, and he was out and he was showing this, and he had another one, and I'd been looking for this. This is one of my all-time top 5 albums of all time, but I had not been able to find it since the flood. And I kept seeing it on Discogs, but it was in the UK. The shipping was too much. If it was in the US, they wanted way too much for it. Brian shipped this to me, and I cannot tell you how much this means to me. I used to have this giant box set from the Water Boys that had come out about this album. Fisherman Blues is the name of the album. I would love to take it out of the plastic, but it won't come out. There's my original that I had because I saved the vinyl from the flood, but this is another original. And, oh, man, this brought tears to my eyes. It truly did. And goosebumps. Such an important album to me. Finally, show an album that was released in 1973. I did a best of 1973, so I had a bunch there. I chose this one, The Spinners. It's the best Spinners album ever. I mean, to me, it is their best album that they did, and it's just their self-entitled Spinners off Mo-Fi. I am pretty sure it's analog, but not that I care. But on here, you can't get out of my mind. Let's see, One of a Kind Love Affair. One of a Kind Love Affair. Could it be I'm Falling in Love? I mean, oh my God, this is good. I love the Spinners. This is the best of the Spinners. Absolutely fantastic. So there we have it. That's my favorite. That's final tag. Remember, Wet Leg could go into almost everything on there because it was such an awesome album. But, well, maybe not 1973. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks you for doing Vinyl Tag with me. We had a lot of fun together, and I truly appreciate it. And Dr. Evil does too. Thanks, everyone, and come back on Sunday. Actually, I got a contest video coming up in a couple days for MGK Boston. Please watch that. Bye.